Hi folks, John Dunn here, RPG freelancer, publisher behind Meliorvia. I'm up here today at Immortals Inc. with Mikey.
What is up, John? I know we have a special guest lurking today.
Well, I don't know if he's special, but he's definitely lurking. Carlos is here with us today too.
I have some very colorful commentary on this particular subject.
I don't doubt it for a moment. So, based on Carlos's expertise, we are going to talk about the Escape from New York adventure today. This is published by Evil Genius Games. It's kind of a team project. Looks like there's a lot of names involved on this. Specifically, it's an adventure for everyday heroes, which Carlos didn't order, but he's going to fix that, he tells me.
I didn't know there was a core book for it.
Yeah, so...
No one told me.
Everyday Heroes is a 5th edition iteration of D20 Modern. Some of the folks who worked on D20 Modern back in the 3.5 era also worked on Everyday Heroes. Jeff Grubb, Stan Brown, Owen Casey Stevens are a few of them. This was originally funded in a May 2022 Kickstarter. Had about 4,200 backers, raised almost $400,000. I was one of those backers. I liked D20 Modern a lot back in the day. One of the things that really surprised me about this Kickstarter was they managed to get a hold of a whole lot of licenses, including this one. So I don't know if they had some contacts in a studio, but they're publishing adventures for The Crow, Kong, Pacific Rim, Total Recall, Highlander, Rambo, and Universal Soldier.
Wait. Which Total Recall?
The Schwarzenegger one.
Okay, the good one. In other words. Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on, John.
And they actually did another Kickstarter, I think this year, where they're doing full adventure paths compatible with Everyday Heroes for Kong Skull Island and for Pacific Rim. So those are coming up. You might want to keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, I already put them on. They're down.
Okay, cool.
They're bothering me, so I put them down.
It's nice to know he pays attention once in a while. And there is a Pay What You Want prologue adventure to this guy available on DriveThruRPG. So if you just want to get a taste of this before you decide if you want to go all the way in, you can hop over there and grab that PDF. So, Escape from New York. Kind of a cult classic movie.
Crime in New York? Never mind. I'm not going to start. Anyway.
Right, so it's a John Carpenter flick.
It is one of the better. If you like 80s, I'm a big 80s guy. You're a big 80s guy.
I mean, yeah.
Mikey's not a big 80s guy.
I feel the 80s energy.
Remember that video I had you watch, that short one with Roddy Piper? Mm-hmm. Along those same lines of like stuff going on. But New York, the setting is New York in the future.
Distant future of 1997.
Yeah, so they pretty much fenced off New York as one big prison.
Yeah.
The main...
it was a 1981 flick.
Yeah.
Right? John Carpenter was the director.
Crime.
One of his early works, really. Kurt Russell played Snake Plissken.
Best character ever.
Maybe not as good in Escape from L.A. later, though.
Oh, I think that was a money grab. We're not going to talk about that.
That one came out in 1996.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one.
Yeah.
But this is a well-done movie.
Or was... Yeah. Again, that one was in the distant future of 2013. So, yeah.
That one might be more true, though.
Manhattan becomes Liberty Island, and it's the U.S. police force prison for the United States. The basic gist of it was the president's plane crashed in New York, and Snake had to go in and rescue him.
And the president was...
I don't even remember.
That actor, he was in Halloween.
I have seen
my Lord.
Escape from New York once, and it was on broadcast TV.
You're over. Why are you even here? Give me that book.
You said the movie came out in 1981?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who was the guy in Donald Pleasance?
Sure.
That's the guy who played the president.
Mostly I remember the picture of his finger that the terrorists mailed in saying, if you want the rest of him.
Yeah. There's a lot of... Adrian Barbeau.
Oh, yeah.
We're dating ourselves, but if you go back, it's good. It's a good movie. It's well done.
It's a fun flick, no question about it. Yeah. So getting into the book, it opens up with about 20 pages of setting. A lot of it movie info, setting timeline, the organizations. You get a map of Manhattan and a little bit of New York City around it, and information about the different gangs. Now, this adventure is set in 1993, so it's a little while before the film. Same location, just they wanted to leave the timeline a little bit open when they wrote it.
Yeah, I like that when they do that, because when they try to, if I might interject, John, I hate when they try to like make the game like based on whatever event in the movie.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Star Wars, an example. Like all of a sudden, Darth Vader shows up. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, how is that even role
Well,
play?
that was, I mean, if you get back to like the Indiana Jones game that TSR published back in the day, it had that kind of problem.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're there with the main character, so they just overshadow you. No matter what you do, you can't mess that timeline up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but anything before or after these events would be,
Yeah, and I think this works pretty well the way they kind of set it up there. So Manhattan is, this prison complex and everybody's there and interacting. So Pliskin hasn't come in and messed the whole thing up yet.
Messed.
After that, we've got 20 pages of hero options. So a lot of different ways to explore your player characters using the Everyday Hero system. You get some new backgrounds. You get some new professions, which in a shout out to Warhammer Fantasy, oddly, Rat Catcher is one of the profession options. You get three new...
Go ahead. That made me laugh.
Okay.
That was in the movie, but go ahead.
Yeah, you get 3 new classes, Gutter Rat, Motorhead, and Street Warrior, and then 9 feats as well. There's a gear section here, all kind of post-apocalyptic options that fit well.
Yeah.
After that, there's a couple of pages of new rules, just 3. Some weapons, and talks about how they can have multiple damage types, which kind of works reasonably well. A section on street cred, and then a new disease, which featured prominently in the film, the Crazies.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a throwback to his other movie, The Crazies.
I think it was.
Yeah. So that was... you know about these, right, Mikey?
No.
You have no idea.
It's like, I don't know, hieroglyphics or something like that.
We'll touch on it after he's done.
Then there's a brief GM advice section, again, about 3 pages. It just talks about themes and adventure hooks that you might want to do if you're going to kind of adventure in this setting beyond the adventure that's included. And then the meat of this book, about 70 pages, covers your adventure and your NPCs. The title of the adventure is Liberty Lost. And without getting into spoilers, it's about recovering a nuke that was lost in New York City. So the movie was about recovering the president from New York City. This is about recovering a nuclear weapon.
Which
could be problematic.
It was kind of a problem in the 80s.
Kind of.
I mean, they kind of glossed over it, but that was a real problem.
The book has some really solid artwork. There aren't any actual stills from the films, but you can see there's some pretty solid illustrations. And going through the adventure, there's some pretty cool maps that are nicely scaled up for use with, 5th edition system. There's more than 20 NPCs that are included here with the adventure. Many of them are very reusable, including Snake Plissken.
He's in there?
He's in there as an NPC, so if you
feel
feel a need to include him in your adventure, you can.
I mean, yeah.
And you do get a selection of pre-generated PCs if you don't want to make your own and you just want to run this for a group, maybe as a one-shot. I think it'd be a little long for most one-shots, but in any case, if you want to do that, there's 5 pre-generated PCs. They're all 5th level. They're set up as an insertion team, so this is, a group of government operatives who would be sent in to try to recover the nuke. You said you had things you wanted to talk about after that, though.
Totally drawn a blank now. No, if you like to sit like John, like I know it's like John like talks about the rule systems and the centers and how it works, and I always like the flavor of it. But Escape from New York, if you've never seen it, it's an 80s movie. If you like going back to it, it's a good story. It's just a good sci-fi story, and John Carpenter has a good universe. It's terrifying, but it's a good universe, and you probably wouldn't want to live in it. And Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell. I mean, now he's
chewing up the screen.
Yeah, I know.
Every scene he's in.
Yes, it's super great. But the setting, I could see where this would be a fun setting because it's not worldwide thing. You could make this setting.
It's very focused.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're familiar with Necromunda from Games Workshop,
yeah,
I think there are a lot of common themes there. You could easily do a gang type campaign with different gangs interacting, or conversely, like the adventure is written, you could be the insertion team that's coming in to try and eliminate some of those gangs or kind of, get things functional between them so that maybe the prison becomes a little more effective.
It's just, because I don't even know where to go with that, but it's just fun. I mean, watch the movie. You should watch the movie.
Is it like corny now to watch it, or is it still like a
no? It's actually relevant. I think it came all the way back around.
I think that's fair. Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
It's come all the way because when this was made, and this is me, I'm not a historian in any way, but this is coming off the 80s. This is coming off the 70s where you had a lot of crime and problems and everything, and that's when Charles Bronson's movies, the original to help me out here.
I know who
Charles
you're talking
Bronson
about.
was a good like
Tough guy.
who like got fed up with crime and went all vigilante, and then also there was that's when Clint
Eastwood does his Dirty Harry
Harry's.
stuff,
If you've never
yeah.
seen those, they've kind of worked their way all the way back around. So this is a fun setting. It's a fun movie. You can watch it. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of one-liners in there. You probably heard them like, you're A1, you're Mr. A1, Mr. Tough Guy. It's just there's a lot of one-liners that you use today that you don't even know where they come from, but a lot of them is from movies like this, and this has a lot of them in it. It's got, like it says, Donald Pleasence, Kurt Russell.
In terms of watching it, it does a decent job of mixing action scenes with comedy scenes. So you've got
dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
very dark comedy.
You could probably watch this with your friends if you've never seen it, and then go play this game.
Oh, easily.
It would totally fit right in.
Fit right in. And the Everyday Hero system, if your players already dig D&D, it's a very natural flow from that.
Yeah, you said it's just modern, right? So it's just D&D modern, which is just instead of a sword, you got a gun, basically. And
More or
you
less.
make it as simple as you possibly want or can, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the system, but I'm sure.
Maybe if you get some copies in, we can talk about that in a future episode.
Okay, John, you're done. No, I'm kidding. I like it. I just saw it. When I saw it, I'm like, there's no way. And then they give it justice. And if you say it's good, well written, then it's good.
Yeah, it's solid.
Done. Yeah, I gotta take a look at it. And I always laugh because Snake Plissken, that guy always comes up.
Oh,
if
all
you
the
look at
time,
back of my
yeah.
feed, like even my, I use him as funny in my Facebook feed. If you go far enough back, there was a Snake Plissken period where everybody was just Snake Plissken. I can't remember what it was about, but we went back and forth.
I mean, video games, Metal Gear is completely based on Snake Plissken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a cool street name to have, is Snake Plissken, you know? And then you say it and people don't know what you're talking about.
They'd be like, is that a dirty comment or something?
Always.
Always. Oh, well. But yeah, that's give it a try. If John says it's good. I'll get the core rules in.
Excellent.
Because I'm like, I thought it was like a standalone, like simple, and then because I saw their whole series, so I'm like,
yeah. So there's other stuff coming too.
Yeah, I saw that. I
the
thought
core
maybe
rule book, it impressed me. It does a great homage to D20 Modern, and it's a really solid way of updating it to be compatible with.
I don't know what I was thinking, that like maybe each book had a little bit of a rule system in it, and I obviously I'm wrong.
There are some rules in here, right, that expand upon what's in the Everyday Heroes core book, but you do really kind of need that
I
book.
should have thought about that, because it's probably like Savage Worlds or
Well, I mean,
like,
it's more like D&D.
No, but I mean like Savage Worlds has a core, and then
yes,
everything
exactly.
So this is the Cipher system, right?
No, this is Everyday Heroes.
Everyday Heroes, it's its own system.
Yeah, it's its own system from Evil Genius Games. So they're the publishers on this. It is
sorry, I don't know
largely
where I got-
compatible with D&D 5th edition.
I don't know where I got Cipher from, but that's cool.
We're in too deep.
We're going to talk about Cypher later.
Oh, okay.
But this one's 128 pages, full color, softcover book, $25. Up here on the shelf at Immortals Inc. or immortalsinc.com. If you dig the movie, or you want to check out the book, or maybe you're just looking for a dark future setting for 5e, this might be what you need. Till
Well
next
said.
time, folks, good gaming.
Later, guys.